Hey guys, this is Mike with Resistance Photography, and I'm gonna share with you how I got this edit right here. With this edit, it's kind of more cartoony, a little over edited, over processed, whatever you want to call it. But for me personally, I like this kind of edit. I think it's kind of fun, edgy, and it's not something you see too often. A lot of people they'll keep simple, basic, clean edits. For me, I like doing the wild stuff. So this is the image I got. I had a lot of people ask me how I did this, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a tutorial on how I did that. Now we're going to start off with this image right here. Now I've edited this a little bit. There were some cars here and stuff. You can tell, bad cloning. But there was a car there. I could have removed that one, but I'm not too worried about it. But we shot this in downtown Modesto, and this is Chad. Really cool dude. And he came out with us and shot with a couple photographers. But yeah, this was the final edit I had originally. But what I tend to do is I go back and I'll play around with my edits and do some weird stuff and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this is another edit that I did. I'm gonna go ahead and try to replicate that the best that I can. So what I'll do is I'll copy this layer and create a new layer from it. And I'll go to filter, camera raw filter. Now I understand that not all Photoshops have this option, but if you're working with Photoshop CC, it does have that option. So if you don't have Photoshop CC, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how you could really do this. If you have Lightroom, I could do a tutorial in Lightroom on how I did that. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just show you how I did it personally. So I'm going to take this clarity, I'm going to boost it all the way up. And for me, I love my clarity. I just can't help it. A lot of people don't. I love it. I'll take my my sharpening, and I'll bring it up a little bit for this image, and then I'll boost that luminance a little bit. And what kind of just smooth everything out a little bit, and I'll click OK. And I'll go ahead and I'll let that load. And I'll go ahead and I'll apply this a few different times. Now I know there's ways to edit this image without destroying it and getting the same effect, but right now this is the only way I know how to do it. So as soon as I research it and figure out different ways to do it, I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys, and that way you guys have a really cool idea of how to do it. So if we look, we're a little bit closer, but not quite as much as what I'd want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to run portraiture on this image, and I'm only going to do a medium. I'm going to go ahead, click OK. I'm going to let that run through the whole image. Usually what I would do with portraiture is I would only use it on the skin tones, maybe sometimes in the background. But for this style of image, I'm going to run it through the whole image, and you'll see why in a minute. So now that that's done, I can go ahead and duplicate this layer if I want. Don't really need to, but I do like to duplicate my layers in case I do something that I don't like. So I'll go ahead and go to filter, camera raw filter, and once that loads, I'm going to go ahead and boost that clarity one more time. And then as far as sharpening, I probably only will do it a little bit. And then I'll take my luminance and I'll bring it up a bit. Click OK. Let that process for a minute. Now with my computer, I'm only working with 8 gigs of RAM, so not that much as far as photo editing goes. So it's kind of slow. Don't worry about it, it's cool. I would recommend having more than 8 gigabytes of RAM if the wallet is friendly. Hopefully I'll be upgrading that soon, so you guys don't sit here and wait on all my videos and all the load time. Probably just edit it out anyways. Alright, so now that we've done that, It's looking a little rough, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a smoothing high, and then run my portraiture real quick, and click OK. And then go ahead and let that load again. It's going to take a little bit. But honestly, after this, there's not really too many steps that we need to do. So that's really convenient. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom in on his face. And why did that pop up? So it's a little rough. Not too bad. Kind of dig that. Actually, it's pretty sick looking. It's kind of pixelated a little bit, especially up in the hair right there. But oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry, freaking Windows 8, hate it. So honestly, with that, I would almost be satisfied. The only thing that's gonna bother me is his forehead right here. I'm gonna go ahead and combine these two layers, so I'm not worried about having them. No big deal. But I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control T. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this half of his forehead and I'm going to kind of patch up this half. I know you can clone it, blend it, all that stuff. I suck at that. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest with you guys. I suck at that. So it's just easier for me to borrow the other side of his forehead and kind of just go ahead and replace that. So I'll go ahead and hit apply. And I'm going to go ahead and use my mask tool. I'm going to go ahead and click Alt, click the mask, and then that way I can kind of just paint in the part of the forehead that I want. Now normally for any other photo you do not want to do this, but for this style it's perfectly fine. I'm going to go to Blur, Gaussian Blur. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of throw a blur on his forehead. Now since this is kind of a cartoony edit, it's not a big deal that I do this, but for a normal portrait you do not want to do that at all. You want to do frequency separation or portraiture. And we've done that. Still looks a little rough, but if I spend more time, you know, I can get a little bit better, like I did with this one. But not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and combine those two layers and duplicate that again. I'm going to go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter, and then here I'm not really going to do any more clarity or any of that stuff, but just more kind of messing with the levels. I'm going to go to Luminance, and I kind of liked his skin a little bit more pale. Bring up the Luminance. And that, I kind of like that. And the saturation, I can pull it down if I want. I'll probably keep it, you know, where it was. Not a big deal. And click OK. And go ahead and let that load. And there we go. Pretty stinking close to what I had. I think my other one had a little bit more clarity to it. To do that, what I actually did was I took this layer and I went to Filter, Other, High Pass, and I had mine set to about 9.4. Clicked OK, and then I would go ahead and you can click Linear for kind of like a really crisp, edgy looking one. For me, it's kind of too much. It's really distracting. You can go to Vivid, it's a little bit less. Hard light, a little bit less. Soft light, again, a little bit less. And let's see, overlay. And I think overlay was the one I liked. So if you look at them, I mean, pretty stinking close to each other. Not too far off at all. So yeah. And that's pretty much how I achieve this look. For me, it's kind of overdone, but that's perfectly fine. Eventually, I'm going to learn how to master this and to be able to do this in a really nice, clean looking way. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below, message me on Facebook, email me. I'm going to have all that kind of stuff down in the description. And if you want to leave comments, you want to show me examples of how you guys have done this, that'd be super awesome. But yeah, I think that's it for today. You guys have a great day and stay blessed.